households both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where Romeo is seen, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean.
From force and fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventured Peters overthrows, those with their deaths bury their parents' strife.
The fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which, but their children's end, not could remove, is now the 2 hours traffic on our stage.
The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
No, for then we should be colliers.
I mean, and being collar, we'll draw.
Hey, why you live? Draw your neck out of collar.
I strike quickly being moved.
But thou art not quickly moved to strike.
A duck at the house of Montagues moves me.
To move is to stir, and to be valiant is to stand. Therefore, if thou movest, thou runnest away.
A duck at the house of Montagues shall move me to stand outtake the wall of any man or maid of Montagues.
That shows thee a weak slave, for the weakest goes to the wall.
Tis true. And therefore women, being the weaker vessels, are averagers to the wall. Therefore, I will push Montague's men from the wall and thrust his mates into the wall.
The quarrel is between our masters and us, their men.
'Tis so one. I will show myself a tyrant. After I fought with the men, I will be civil to the maids. I will cut off their heads.
The heads of the maids?
The heads of the maids, their maiden heads, thinking in what sense thou wilt.
They must take it in the sense they feel it.
Me they shall feel I'm able to stand. And 'tis known I'm a pretty piece of flesh.
If thou hast been fish, thou hast been poor John. Draw thy tool. Here comes one of the house of Montagues.
Draw, I'll back thee.
How? Turn my back and run?
Fear me not.
No, Mary, I fear thee.
Let us take the law upon our sides. Let them begin.
I'll frown as they pass by, and let them take it as they wilt.
Nay, as they dare. I'll bite my thumb on them, and this is a disgrace if they bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
I do not bite my thumb, sir.
But do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law on our side if I say A?
No.
I do not bite my thumb at you, sir.
No better.
Say better. Here comes one of my master's kingsmen.
Yes, better, sir.
You lie.
Draw if you be men. Gregory, remember thy washing blow.
Bard fools, put up thy swords. You know not what to do.
What, art thou drawn among these heartless fiends? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death.
I do, but keep the peace. Put up thy sword, or manage to part these men with me.
Drawn and talk of peace. I hate the word, as I hate hell, all Montagues, and thee. Have at thee, coward.
Down with the Montagues!
Down with the Montagues!
Down with the Capulets!
Capulets!
Lord ho!
Go you for a sword.
Old Montagues come and flourishes his blade in spite of me.
Thou villain Capulet, hold me not, let me go. No shall not stir 1 foot and seek a foe.
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace, profaners of this neighbor-stained steel. Will they not hear? What ho, you men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins. On pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word, by ye, old Capulet and Montague, have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets, and made Rome's ancient citizens cast by their grave beseeming ornaments to wield old partisans in hands assault. Conquered with peace, to part your conquered hate. If ever you disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me. And Montague, come in this afternoon to know our further pleasure in this case to Old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
You buy when it began?
Here were the servants of your adversaries, and yours close to fighting. Here I did approach. I drew to part them. But in the instant came the fury Tybalt with his sword prepared, which, as he breathed defiance to my ear, swung above his head and hissed in scorn, who nothing heard with all his given scorn. While we're intercharging, thirsty blows came more and fell from part and part, till the prince came, who parted either part.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am he was not at this fray.
An hour before the worshipped sun appeared above the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drove me to walk abroad, where, under the grove of a sycamore, so early did I see your son. Towards him I made, but he was ere me and stole into the coverts of the wood. I, measuring his affection by my own, being one too many by my weary self, measuring my affections by his, I godly shunned who godly fled from me.
Many a morning had he there be seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew, adding to clouds more clouds with his deep sighs. But also soon as the old cheering sunshine with the farthest east began to draw the shady curtains from Aurora's bed away from Lycius home my heavy son, and private in his chamber pins himself, shuts up his windows, locks fair daily light out, and makes himself an artificial night. Black and pretentious must this humor prove, unless good counsel may the cause remove.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him.
Well, have you importuned him by any means?
Both by myself and many other friends, but he, his own affections, his counselor is to himself. I will not say how true, but to himself so secret and so close, so far from sounding in discovery, as is the bud bit with an envious worm. Here he can spread his sweet leaves to the air, or dedicate his beauty to the same. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as know.
See where he comes. So please, you step aside. Either I'll know his grievance, or be much denied.
I were so happy by thy say, to hear true shift. Come, madam, let's away.
Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
But it struck 9.
Me sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. But tell me, what sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which makes them short.
In love?
Out.
Out of love?
Out of her favor, in which I'm in love.
At last that love, so gentle in his view, should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
At last that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eye see pathways to his will. Where shall we dine?
Dine?
Hey me, what fray was here? Yet tell me not, for I've heard it all. Here's much to do with hate, but more with love. Why then, oh brawling love, oh loving hate, oh anything of nothing first create, oh heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming form, fetter of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep that is not what it is. This love feel I, that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, 'cause I'd rather weep.
Good heart, at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why such love's transgression? Griefs of mine own lie heavy in my chest, which thou wilt prograde to have it pressed with more of thine. This love that thou hast shown me, doth add more grief to too much of mine own. Here's what love is: a smoke made with the fume of sighs, being perched, a fire sparkling in lover's eyes, being vexed, a sea nourished with loving tears. What else is it? It's a madness most discreet, a choking gall, and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my cuss.
Sorry. Soft, thou go along, and if you leave me here, you do me wrong.
Then I'm not myself. I'm not here. This It's not Romeo. He's some other where.
Well, tell me in sadness, who is that you love?
What shall I groan and tell thee?
Grown? No, but sadly, tell me who.
A sick man in sadness makes his will. A word ill perched to one that is so ill. In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
I ain't so new, and I suppose you love.
A right good markman, and she's fair I love.
Well, a fair mark, fair cause is soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss. She will not be hit by Cupid's arrow. She had diane sweet, and in proof of chastity well armed. From love's weak, childish bow she leaves uncharmed. She will not stay the siege of loving terms, nor buy the assault of assailing eyes, nor open her life to saint seducing gold. Oh, she's rich in beauty, only poor that when she dies, with beauty dies her store.
Then she has sworn that she will still live chaste?
She had, and in that sparing makes huge waste. For beauty start with her severity, cuts beauty off from all prosperity. She's too fair, too wise, wisely too fair, to merit bliss by making me despair. She had foreshown love, and in that vow, do I leave death that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty into thine eyes, examine other beauties.
This the way to coerce, exquisite, in question more. This black mask that kiss fair ladies' brows, being black, put us in mind they hide the fair. A man who is struck blind cannot forget the treasure of his eyesight lost. Show me a mistress that is passing fair. What doth her beauty do but serve as a note where I may read those who pass that passing fair? Farewell. Thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that, Doctorine. I'll die in death.
But Montague is bound as well as I in penalty alike, and 'tis not hard for men as old as we to keep the peace.
Of honorable recking are you both. In pity this, we lived it out so long. But now, my lord, what say you to my suit?
But saying over what I've said before, my child is yet a stranger to this world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, or we may think her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she, a happy mother's maid.
And too soon martyred, though so early made. You see, there has swallowed all my pride, but she's the hopeful lady of my earth. But woo her, gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part. And she agreed, within her scope of choice lies my consent and fair according voice. This night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I invited many a guest, such as I love. And you, one more, most welcome, makes my number more. And my poor house look to behold this night, earth-treading stars that make dark heaven light. Such comfort as do lusty young men feel when well-apparelled April on the heel of limping winter treads. Even such delight among fresh fennel buds shall you inherit at my house. Hear all, I'll see, and most like whose most merit shall be, which on more view of many mine being one may stand in number, then reckoning none. Come, go with me. Go, sirrah, drudge about through fair Verona, find those persons out whose names are written here, and to them say, my house, and welcome on their pleasure stay.
Find them out, those people whose names are written here? It's written that the shoemaker should meddle with his yard, the tailor with his laws, the painter with his nets, and the fisher with his pencil. But I am sent to find those persons whose names are written here, and can never find the names the writing person has here writ. I must do the learning good time.
That man, one fire burns out, another is burning. One pain is lessened by another's anguish. Turn giddy and be turned by the backward turning. One desperate grief is cured with another's languish. Take new infection into thine eyes, and the rank poison of the old will die.
Your plain chain leaf is excellent for that.
For what, I pray thee?
For your broken shin.
Oh, why, Romeo, art thou so mad?
Not mad, but more than a madman is. Locked up in prison, kept without food, whipped and tormented, and... good fellow.
Good, I pray, sir, can you read?
Eh, mine own fortune in my misery?
Perhaps you've learned it without book, but I pray, can you read anything you see?
Hey, if I know the letters and the language?
You say honestly, rest you merry, can you read?
Wait, good fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his beauteous daughters, Count Anselme and his sisters, the lady widow of Vitruvio, Signor Placentio, and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosaline and Livia, Signor Valencio and his cousin Thibaut, Lucio and the lively Elena. A fair assembly. Whither should they come? Up! Whither? To supper? To our house. Whose house? My master's. Indeed, I should have asked thee that before.
Now, I will tell you without asking. My master is the great, rich Capulet, and if you be not the house of Montague, I pray come and catch a cup of wine with us. Rest ye merry!
At the same ancient feast of Capulet, subs the fair Rosaline, whom thou so loves, with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither with unattained eye, and compare her face to one that I shall show, and I'll make thee think a swan the crow.
When the devout religion of mine eyes maintains such falsehood, those who often drowned could never die. Transparent heretics be burned for liars. One fairer than my love, the all-seeing sun ne'er saw her match since first the world begun.
Dutch, you saw her fair, none else being by herself, poised with herself in either eyes, but in that crystal scale there be waiting your lady's love against some other maid that I shall show shining at the feast. And now when she shall scan show well, that now sees best.
I'll come along, no such sight to be shown, but rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Nurse, where is my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now, by my maidenhead a 12-year-old, I bade her come. What lamb, what ladybird, God forbid, where's this girl? What Juliet!
How now? Who calls?
Your mother.
Mother, I am here. What is your will?
This is the matter. Nurse, give leave a while. We must talk in secret. Now, nurse, come back. Have remembered me. Thou hearest our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age into an hour.
She's now 14.
I'll lay 14 of my teeth, and yet to my teeth be it spoken, I have but 4. She is not 14. How long is it now to Lammastide?
Fortnight and odd days.
Even or odd. Of all the days in dear, come Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. But, as I said, come Lammas Eve at night, shall she be 14? That shall she. Oh, Mary, I remember it well. Just since the earthquake, now 11 years. And she was weaned upon that day. Oh, upon all the days in the year, that day. Oh, for I had then laid wormwood to my dog, sitting in the sun under the dove house. Oh, my lord, and you were there at Mantua. Nay, I do bear a brain. But, as I said, when I did tease the wormwood on the nipple of my dog and felt it bitter, pretty fool to see it touchy and fall out with the dog. Shake, quoth the dove house twas. Now need they trow to bid me trudge, and since that time it is 11 years. Oh, for then she could stand high alone. She could have run and waddled all about, for even the day before she broke her brow. And then my husband, God be with his soul, he was a merry man, took up the child. Yeah, quoth he, fall'st upon thy face, that will fall backward when thou comest of age. Wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holy dam, the pretty wretch left crying and said, I! Oh, to see now how death shall come about, I warrant, and I shall live 1,000 years, I never shall forget it. Yeah, quoth he, fall'st upon thy face, thou wilt fall backward, and thou comest of age, wilt thou not, Jewel? And the pretty wretch left crying and said,
Aye, enough of this, I pray thee, nurse, hold thy peace.
Oh, peace I have done. Yet I cannot choose but laugh to see it leave crying and say, aye. For even the day, she had upon its brow a bump as big as young cockerel's stone, a perilous knock, and it cried bitterly. And then, my husband, yeah, quoth he, fall'st upon thy face, thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit, wilt thou know, Jewel? And the pretty wretch left crying and said,
Aye, and stand out sooners, I pray thee say aye.
Peace, peace, I have done. Guard Margaret to his grace, thou's the prettiest babe I ever nursed, and I might live to see thee married some day. I have my wish.
Well, Mary, that Mary is the very theme I came to talk of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
Mother, it is an honor
that I do not dream of.
An honor! Were not I thine only nurse? They'd say thou hadst sucked wisdom from thy tat.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you, here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. By my count, I was your mother much upon these years that you are now a maid. Thus then in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
Oh, Pierce, why, lady, such a man as all the world, why, he's a man of wax.
Summertime in Verona hath not such a flower.
Oh, nay, he's a flower, in faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love this gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast. Read over the volume of young Paris' face, and find delight, read there with beauty's pen. Examine every merry lineament, and see how one another lends content. In what obscured in this fair volume lies, find written in the margin of his eyes. This precious book of love, this unbound lover, to beautify him only lacks a cover. The fish lives in the sea, and this much pride, for fair without the fair within to hide. That book in many's eyes doth share the glory, that with gold clasps looks in the golden story. So shall you share all he doth possesses, by having him, making yourself no less.
No less! Nay, bigger, women grow by man.
Speak briefly, can you like of Paris' love?
Mother, I'll look to like, if looking liking move, but no more deep line dart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly.
Madam, the guests are come, supper served up. You called, my young lady asked for. The nurse cursed in the pantry and everything in extremity. I must hence to wait. I beseech you, follow straight.
We follow thee. Juliet, the county stays.
Go, girl, seek happy nights to happy days.
What, shall this speech be spoke for our excuse, or shall we on without apology?
Nay, the day is out of such proximity. We'll have no Cupid's hoodwink with a scarf, bearing a Tartar's painted bowl of lath, scaring the ladies like a crowskeeper, nor no without book prologue faintly spoke after the prompter for our entrance. But let them measure us by what they will. We'll measure them a measure, and be gone.
Give me a torch. I'm not for dissembling. Being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground. I cannot move.
Your lover broke Cupid's wings and soared them above a common bound.
I am too sore and pierced with his shaft to soar with his light wings, and so bound I cannot bound the pitch above the woo. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love, too great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for pricking, and you beat love down. Give me a case to put my visage in, a visor for a visor. What care I what curious eyes dot cut deformities? Here are the beat brows, so blush for me.
Come, knock and enter, no sooner in, but every man betake him to his legs.
Give me a torch. Let wanton's light of hearts tickle the senseless rushes with their heels. For I am proverb with a grand tsar phrase. I'll be a candle holder and look on. The game was near so fair, and I am done.
Tut, done's the mouse, the constable's own word. If thou art done, we'll draw thee from the mire, or love, save your reverence, wherein thou stickest up to the ears. Come, we burn daylight, ho!
Nay, that's not so.
Why, may one ask?
Well, I dreamt a dream tonight.
So did I.
What was yours?
The dreamers often lie.
In bed? Asleep? Well, they dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab had been with you. She's the fairest midwife, and she comes in shapes no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn by a team of little atomy over men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spear's legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, her traces of the smallest spider web, her colors of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricked's bone, the lash of whom, her wagoner, a small gray-coated gnat,
now how so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a maid. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the joiner squirrel or grub, time out of mind the fairies' coachmakers. In this state, she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. On courtiers' knees, and then they dream of on curtsies. Over lawyers' fingers, the straight on kisses, straight on over the lady's lips, the straight on kisses dreams. And which of the angry mab with blister plagues, because the breads with sweet may tainted are. Sometimes she gallops over courtier's nose, and then dreams he of smelling out a suit. And sometimes comes she with a titpig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as he lie asleep, and then dreams he of another benefice. Sometimes she drive it over a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breeches, ambuscados, Spanish blades, of hells 5 fathoms deep, and then, anon, drums in his ears, he starts and wakes, and being thus frightened, swears another prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is the very mab that plats the manes of horses in the night, and braids elf locks in foul sluttish hairs, which once entangled much misfortune bodes. This is the hag, when maids lie on their backs, that presses them and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she. Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talks of nothing. True, true. I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is a thinner substance as the air, and more inconstant than the wind, who woos, even now, the frozen bosom of the north, and being angered, puffs away from thence, turning his side to the dew-dropping south.
This queen you talk of blows us from ourselves. Supper is done and we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence yet hanging in the stars, shall begin its bitter date with tonight's revels, and expire the term of a despised life in my breast by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that had the steerage of my course, direct my sail. On, lusty gentlemen!
Strike! Drum!
Welcome, gentlemen, ladies that have their toes unplagued with corns to walk about with you. Oh, my mistresses, am I come near you now? She that makes dainty, I'll swear hath corns. Am I come near you now? But welcome, gentlemen, welcome. I have seen the day that I've worn a visor, and I could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone. But welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play.
What lady is that which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not, sir.
Who she doth teach the torches to burn bright? It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night as a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use for earth to the ear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellow shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stance, and, touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love you now? For swear it sight for news, near so true beauty to this night.
This by his voice should be a Montague, a villain that is hither come in spite to fleer at our solemnity this night. Now, by the stock and honor of my kin, to strike him dead I hold it not a sin.
Why, how now, kinsman, wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to fleer and scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that villain Romeo.
Content thee, gentle cuz, let him alone. He bears him like a portly gentleman, and to say truth, Verona brags of him to be a virtuous and well-governed youth. I would not for all the wealth of this town do here my house do him disparagement. It is my will, which if thou respect, show a fair presence and put off these frowns, an ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It's fitting when such a villain is a guest. I will not endure him.
Well, he shall be endured. What? Good man, boy, I say he shall. Am I the master here, or are you? Go to, you not endure him. Gotcha, man, my soul, you make a mutiny among my guests. You said a cock-a-hoop, you be the man.
Uncle, this is shame.
Content thee. You're a saucy boy, isn't it so indeed? This trick may chance to scathe you. I know what you must contrary me. Mary, 'tis time. More light, please. Be quiet, or for... More light! For shame, I'll make you quiet.
Patience perforce with willful choler meeting makes my flesh tremble in their different greetings. I will withdraw, but this intrusion shall, now sweeming sweet, turn to bitterest gall.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this: my lips to blushing pilgrims ready stand, to soothe that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which manly devotion shows in this. For saints have palms, the palmers' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy palmers' kiss.
You have saints not lips, and holy palmers too.
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Well then, saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray. Grant thou lest fate turn to despair.
Saints do not move, thou grant for prayers' sake.
Then move not, while my prayers' effect I take. Now from my lips by thine, my sin is purged.
Did not my lips now have the sin that they have took?
Sin from my lips, O trespass sweetly urged, give me my sin again.
You kissed by the book.
Madam! Your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Why, Mary Bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a wise lady, and kind, and I warrant virtuous. I nursed her daughter that you talked withal. I tell you, he that can lay hold of her shall have the chinks.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account! My life is in my foe's death!
Away, be gone! The spur is at its best.
Hey, so I fear, the more is my unrest.
Nay, gentlemen, prepare not be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet towards. Is it even so? Well, why then, I thank you all. I thank you, honest gentlemen. Farewell. More light here. Good night.
Come hither, nurse. Nurse, what is yon gentleman?
That must be dear of old Tiberius.
No, not him. What about the one by the door over there?
That must be young Petruchio.
No, not Petruchio. The one over there, the one that wouldn't dance.
I know not.
Go ask, ask. If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedding bed.
Oh, his name is Romeo, and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate, too early seen and known too late. Prodigious birth of love it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
What's this? Where did you learn this?
A rhyme I learned from one I danced withal.
Juliet!
Oh. Anan, come on, let's away. The strangers are all gone.
Now all desire does in his deathbed lie, and young affection gapes to be his heir. That fair for which love groaned for and would die, with tender Juliet matched, is now not fair.
Now Romeo is beloved and loves again, alike bewitched by the charm of hooks. But to his foe supposed he must complain, and she still loves, sweet beat from fearful looks.
Being held a foe, he may not have access to breathe such vows as lovers used to swear. And she is much in love, her means much less to meet her new beloved anywhere. But passion lends them power, time means to meet, tempering extremities with extreme speed.
Can I move forward when my heart is here? Turn back the word and find I sent her out.
Romeo, my cousin Romeo! Romeo!
He is wise and, on my life, has stolen me home to bed.
He ran this way and led this orchard wall. Call good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo, humors, madman, passion, lover, appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. Speak but one rhyme and I am satisfied. I conjure thee by Rosaline's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, quivering thigh, and the domains that there adjacent lie, that in thy likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him.
This cannot anger him. 'Twould anger him to raise a spirit in his mistress' circle of some strange nature, letting it there stand till she had laid it and conjured it down. That were some spite. My invocation is fair and honest. In his mistress' name, I conjure only but to raise up him.
Come, he hath hid himself among these trees to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind is his love, and best befits the dark.
If love be blind, love cannot hit the mark. Now will he sit under a medlar tree, in which his mistress were that kind of fruit, as maids call medlars when they laugh alone. Oh, Romeo, that you were, oh, that you were, an open arse, and thou a paw-print pear. Romeo, good night. Out to my treacle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here, that means not to be found. O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, but be sworn my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more or shall I speak of this?
'Tis but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, thou not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor arm, nor hand, nor foot, nor face. That which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. So Romeo, if he were not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized.
What man art thou, thus bescreened in night, so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would hear the word.
My ears have not yet drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not
Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either did is like.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place doth deaf if any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I o'erbridge these woes, for stony limits cannot hold love out, and what love can that dares love attempt? Therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eyes than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes. But thou love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death, peruked, wanting of thy love.
By whose direction found out this place?
By love, that did first prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes. I'm no pilot, but were thou as far as that vast shore washed with the farthest sea, I should adventure for such merchandise.
Romeo?
My dear?
What o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
By the hour of 9.
I will not fail. Just almost 20 years till then. I forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou remember it.
I would have to hate thee stand here, remembering how I loved thy company.
And I'll still stand to have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this.
'Tis almost morning. I would have thee gone, and yet no farther than a wanton's bird that lets it hop a little from a prisoner's hand, like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, with its silken threads that plucks it back, so loving jealous of his liberty.
I would I were thy bird.
Oh, sweet, so would I, yet I would kill thee with much cherishing. Good night, good night. Parting is such a sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Where I sleep, and peace so sweet to rest. Hence I will to my ghostly friar's cell, his help to seek, and my dear hap to tell. Good morrow, father!
Benedicity! What early tongue so sweet saluted me? Young son, it argues a distempered head, so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Care keeps his watch in every old man's eye, but where care lodges, sleep will never lie. But where unbruised youth, with a stuffed brain, doth couch his limbs, there golden sleep doth reign. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou apprised with some distemperature. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo had not been in bed tonight.
This last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin? Were thou with Rosaline?
With Rosaline, my ghostly father, no! I forgot that name, and that name is Woo.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been then?
I'll tell thee ere thou askest me again. I'd been feasting with my enemy, where on a sudden one had wounded me, thus by me wounded. Both our remedies within thy help and holy physic lies. I bear no hatred, blessed man, for lo, my intercession likewise steads my foe.
Be plain, good son, and homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know that my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on her, so hers is set on mine, and all combinedly, for thou must combine by holy marriage. When and where and how we met, we wooed, and made exchange a vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here! Is Rosaline that thou didst love so dear so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts but in their eyes. Jesu Maria, what deal of brine have washed thy sallow cheeks for Rosaline? How much salt water throw away in waste to season love? That of it doth not taste. The sun, not yet thy sighs from heaven clears, thy old growing ring in my Asian years. Lo, here upon thy cheek the stain doth sit of an old tear that is not washed off yet. If ever thou was thyself and these woes thine, thou and these woes were all for Rosaline. And art thou changed? Pronounce the sentence then. Women may fall when there's no strength in men.
Thou chidest me for loving Rosaline.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And badst me bury love?
Not in a great to lay one and another out to have.
I pray thee, chide me not. Her I love now, though grace for grace and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did read by rote but could not spell. But come, young river, come, go with me. In one respect I'll thy assistant be. For this alliance may so happy prove to turn your household's rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence. I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow they stumble that run fast.
Oh, here comes Romeo! Here comes Romeo!
Without his roe, like a dried herring. Oh, flesh, flesh, how art thou fishified? Now is he for the number that Petrarch flowed in. Lower to his lady was a kitchen wench. Mary, she had a better love to berhyme her. Did what thou did, Cleopatra a gypsy, Helen a hero, a Hildings and harlots, this be a grey hour or so, but not to the purpose. Senor Romeo, bonjour. There's a French salutation to a French slop. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night.
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir, the slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, good my Cuscio, but my business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
That's as much as to say a case such as yours constrains a man to bow in the hams.
Meaning, to curtsy.
Thou hast most kindly hid it.
A most courteous exposition.
Nay, I'm the very pink of curtsy.
Pink? For flower?
Right?
It is my pump well flowered.
Sure wit. Follow me this jest now, till thou hast worn out thy pump, that when the single soul of it is worn, the jest may remain, after its wearing, solely singular.
Oh, single soul jest, solely singular for the singleness.
Come between us, good Benvolio, my wits faint.
Switch and spurs, or I'll cry a match.
Why, is not this better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable, now art thou Romeo, now art thou what thou art, by art as well as by nature. This driveling love is like a great natural that runs lolling up and down to hide his bubble in a hole.
Stop there, stop there!
Thou desirest me to stop in my tail against the hair?
Those us have made thy tail large.
Thou art deceived. I would have made it short, for I had come to the whole depth of my tail, and meant indeed to occupy the argument no longer.
Here's goodly gear. A sail, a sail.
Two, a shirt and a smock.
Peter!
Anna!
My fan, Peter!
Good, Peter, to hide her face, for her fan's the fairer face.
God, you good morrow, gentlemen.
God you good in, gentlewoman.
Oh, is it good even?
'Tis no less, I tell you, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you! What a man are you!
One gentlewoman that God hath made himself to mar.
By my troth, it is well said, for himself to mar, quoth he. Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I can tell thee, but young Romeo will be older when you found him than he was when you sought him. I am the youngest of that name, for fault of a worse.
You say well.
Yeah, is the worst well? Very well, Tokai, fate. Wisely, wisely.
If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
She will indict him to some supper?
A bud, so ho!
What hast thou found?
No hair, sir, unless a hair, sir, is something in a Lenten pie that is stale and o'er, ere it be spent. Romeo, will you come to your father's? Will to dinner thither?
I will follow thee.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell, lady, lady, lady.
I pray you, sir, what was the saucy merchant that was so full of his own ropery?
A gentleman, good nurse, that loves to hear himself talk, and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
And he speak anything against me, I'll take him down. And he were lustier than he is. Oh, and 20 such jacks, and if I cannot, I find those that shall. Scurvy knave, I'm none of his flirt gills, I'm none of his cane mates. And thou must stand by too, and suffer every knave that dare use me at his pleasure.
I so no man use you, at his pleasure. If I had, my precious lady have been out, I warrant thee, I dare draw as soon as another man, if I see occasion in a good quarrel, and alone on my side.
Now, afore God, I'm so vexed that every part about me quivers. Scurvy knave! Pray, sir, a word. Ooh. Now, as I said, my young lady bid me inquire you out. What she bid me say, I will keep to myself. But first, let me tell you, if you won't lead her into a fool's paradise, as they say, that'd be a very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore you should deal double with her. It'd be an ill thing to offer to any gentlewoman and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress. I protest unto
Good
thee.
heart, and I will tell her as much. Ah, Lord, Lord, she'll be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not mark me.
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I find it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
And bid her devise some means to come shrift this afternoon. And there she shall, and for our Lawrence so, be shrived and married. Here is for thy pains.
No, not truly, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
This afternoon, well, she shall be there.
And stay, good nurse, behind the abbey walls. Within this hour my man shall be with thee, and bring thee course made like a tackled stair, which, to the high top gallant of my joy, must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell. Be thirsty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell. Commend me to thy lady and mistress.
God in heaven bless thee. Hark you, sir.
What sayst thou, my dear nurse?
Is your man's secret? Did you never hear say, two may keep counsel, putting one away?
Warn thee, my man's the truest still.
Well, my lady is the sweetest lady. Oh, when 'twas a little praying thing, there's this one nobleman in town, one Paris, who would lay fine aboard, but, she, I warrant you, she sees a toad that see him every day. I warrant. Sometimes I do tell her that Paris is the proper man, but let me tell you, I warrant, whenever I see her, she looks as pale as any cloud in the versal world. Doth not Rosemary and Romeo both begin with a letter?
Hey, what of that, nurse? Both with an R.
Mocker, that's the dog's name. I know it began with some other letter, and she had the prettiest intentions of you and Rosemary, that it would do you good to hear it.
Commend me to thy lady and mistress.
Aye, 1,000 times. Peter!
And
before and apace!
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts which 10 times faster glides in the sun's beams, driving back shadows over luring hills, and the nimble pinioned doves hath wind-swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours. Yet she is not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she'd be as swift in motion as a ball. My love's words would bandy her to him, and his to me. But many old folks, faint as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh, here comes my nurse, and she brings news. Oh, honey nurse, what news? Send thy man away.
Peter, stay at the gate.
Oh, honey nurse, why thou look so sad? If thou news may be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shames the music of so sweet news with so sour a face.
Jesus, give me leave a while. I am aweary.
Oh, nurse, I wouldst I had my bones deny thy news. Now, good, sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, I pray thee, speak. Nurse, speak.
Jesus, what haste? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How dost thou out of breath when thou hast the breath to tell me that thou dost out of breath? The excuse that thou must make for this delay is longer than the tale that thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either in a state of circumstance. Just let me be satisfied. Is good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo? No, not he. Though his fail be better than any man's, yet his leg exceed all man's, and for a hand and a foot and a body, though they not be talked on, they are past compare. He's not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench. What? Serve God, have you dined at home?
Oh, nurse, no. All this did I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Oh, my head aches. It feels as if it would fall into 20 pieces. Oh, my back, the other side. Oh. Be sure you're hard for sending me to catch my death jaunting up and down.
Faith, I am so cordially sorry that thou art not well. But sweet nurse, what says my love?
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a kind, and a handsome, and a warrant of virtues. Where's your mother?
Where's my mother? Nurse, why she's within. Where else should she be? How oldly thus replies, and your love, like an honest gentleman replies, where's your mother?
Oh, Mary, come up, I trow. Why are you so hot? Now, henceforward, you'll do your messages yourself.
You're such a coil. Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shrift today?
I have.
Well, then hie your hands to Friar Lawrence's cell, for there stays a husband ready to make you a wife.
Oh, nurse, high to high fortune, honest nurse, farewell.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. But what sorrow can? It cannot countervail the exchange of joy one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words. Then love devouring death do what he dare. It is enough I may but call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in the triumph die, like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. The sweetest honey is wholesome in his own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately, long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow. Ah, here comes the lady. Oh, so light a foot will never wear out the everlasting flint. A lover may bestride the gossamer, the idols in the wanton summer air, and yet not fall, so light his vanity.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo should thank thee, daughter, first both.
Oh, Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be kept like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breast this neighbor air, and let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter.
Conceit, more rich in matter than in substance, brags of his ornament. There are but beggars that can count their worth, but my true love has grown to such excess that I simply cannot sum up half of my wealth.
Come with me. We will make short work. For by your leaves you shall not stay alone until Holy Church incorporate two in one.
I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. The day's so hot, the capos are abroad, and if we meet, we shall not escape abroad. For now, these hot days are the mad blood stirring.
Thou art like one of those fellows that, when he enters the confines of a tavern, claps me his sword upon the table and says, God, send me no need of thee. And, by the operation of the second cup, draws him on a drawer, when indeed there is no need.
Am I like such fellow?
Come. Thou art as hot in thy mood as any man in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
And what too?
Nay, and there were two such, we should have done shortly, for one would kill the other. Thou would quarrel with a man for having a hair more or hair less in his beard than thou hast. Thou would quarrel with a man for cracking nuts, having no reason, but because thou hast hazel eyes. What eye but such an eye would spy out such a quarrel? Thy head is as full of quarrels as an egg is full of meat, and yet thy head has been beaten as addo as an egg for quarreling. Thou hast quarreled with a man for coughing in the street, because he had wakened thy dog that had laid asleep in the sun. Didst thou not fall out with the tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter, with another for tying his new shoes with old ribbon, and yet thou would tutor me from quarreling?
And now we're so apt to quarrel as thou art. Any man should pay the fee simple of my life for an hour and a quarter.
The fee simple? Oh, simple.
By my head, here comes the Capulets.
By my heel, I care not.
Gentlemen, good un. A word with one of you.
And but a word with one of us. Couple it with something, make it a word and a blow.
You find me apt enough to do that, sir, and you give me occasion.
Could you not take some without giving?
Mercutio, thou consorts with Romeo.
Consorts? Dost thou make minstrels of us? And thou make minstrels of us, look to hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick, here's what shall make you dance. Zounds, consort.
We speak here in the public haunt of men. Either withdrawn to some private place, or coldly reason your grievances, or else depart. Here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
But I'll be hanged, sir, if you wear your livery. Mary, go before the field, he'll be your follower. Your worship, in that sense, may call him man.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none. Therefore farewell. I see thou knowest me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries thou hast done me.
I do protest I never injured thee, but love thee better than thou canst devise till thou shalt know the reason of my love. And so, good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as mine own, be satisfied. O calm, dishonorable, vile submission! Aristocato carries it away. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
And what wouldst thou have with me?
Oh, good king of cats, nothing but one of your 9 lives that I mean to make ball withal. And, as you shall use me hereafter, dry beat the rest of the 8. Now, will you pluck your sword out of his pilcher by the ears? Make haste, let his mind be about your ears, ere it be out. I bite my thumb on you, sir. Good Mercutio, put thy rapier up! Come, sir, your pasado. Drove and Volio, beat down their weapons! Gentlemen, for shame forbear this outrage! Tybalt! Mercutio, the prince expressly had forbade this band dying in Verona streets! Halt, Tybalt! Good Mercutio! I am hurt. A plague about your houses. I am sped. Is he gone and had nothing?
What? Art thou hurt?
Aye. A scratch. A scratch. Mary, 'tis enough. It's not as wide as it's not as deep as a well, nor as wide as a church door, but 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me again tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. A plague about your houses! Zounds, a dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat to scratch a man to death. A villain, a rogue that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm. I thought all for the best. But Volio, help me into some house, or I shall faint. A plague about your houses! They have made worms meat of me. I have it, and soundly too. Your houses! This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my friend, had got this mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt that an hour had been my cousin. Also with Juliet, thy beauty had made me effeminate, and in my temper soft and veiler still.
Oh, Romeo, brave Mercutio's dead. That gallant soul hath aspired the clouds, which so untimely here did scorn the earth.
This black day's fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe, others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Thou wretched boy! Thou wretched boy that didst consort with him here, shall with him hence.
This shall determine that.
Romeo, away, begone! The citizens are up and Tybalt slain. Stand not amazed, the prince be doomed to death if thou art taken. Hence, begone, away!
Oh, I'm fortune's fool!
Why dost thou stay?
rank he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt, that murderer, which way rank he?
There lies that Tybalt.
Up, sir, go with me. I charge in the prince's name. Obey.
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
Oh, noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manages of this fatal brawl. There lies a man, slain by young Romeo, who slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Oh, Tybalt! Oh, my cousin! Oh, my brother's child! Oh, prince! Husband! Oh, prince, as thou art true, for blood of ours shed blood of Montague. Oh, cousin! Cousin!
Benvolio, who begun this bloody fray?
There lies Tybalt slain, whom Romeo's hands did slain. Romeo, who spoke him fair, bid him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged with all your high displeasure. All this uttered with gentle breath, calm looks, knees humbly bowed, could not take truce with the unruly plain of Tybalt, deaf to peace, but that he tilts with piercing steel bold Mercutio's breast. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly? This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false. He speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and all those 20 could but kill one life. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
And for that offense, immediately, we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your hearts proceeding my blood, for your rude brows doth lie bleeding. But I will amerce you with so strong a fine you shall all repent the loss of mine. I'll be deaf to pleading and excuses, nor tears, nor prayers shall purchase out abuses. Therefore, use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, or else when he is found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy, but murders, pardoning those that kill.
Give me my Romeo, and when I shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, for he will make the face of heaven so fine that all will fall in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought a mansion of love, but not possessed it yet, and though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. So tedious is this day as the night before some festival, to an impatient child that hath new robes that he may not wear. Yeah, noise? Oh, here comes my nurse, and she brings news, and every tongue that speaks of Romeo's name speaks of heavenly eloquence. Oh, honey nurse, what news? What hast thou there? The course that Romeo bid thee fetch?
Aye, the cords.
Aye, the cords. What news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
He's gone. He's dead. He's dead. Alack the day. We're undone, lady. We're undone. He's gone. He's killed. He's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Romeo, whoever would have thought it, Romeo.
What devil art thou that torment me thus? This torture should be roared in dismal hell. Hath Romeo slain himself? Say but I, and that bare vowel eye shall poison more than the death-darting eye of the cockatrice. I am not I, if there be such an eye, or if those eyes shut that make the answer I. If he be slain, say I, or if not, no. Brief sounds determine my weal or woe.
I saw the wound. I saw it with mine own eyes here on his manly breast. A corpse, a bloody, piteous corpse, pale as ashes, all begotten in blood. I swooned at the sight.
Oh, poor bankrupt, break my heart, break at once to vile Alsnale, rook on liberty. Vile earth and earth resign in motion here, and thou and Romeo press one heavy bier.
Oh, Tybalt, the best friend I had, an honest, courteous gentleman that I ever. should live to see that.
What storm is this that blows contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and Tybalt dead? The dreadful trumpet makes the sound of the general doom, for who is living if those two are gone?
Tybalt is gone, and Romeo banished.
Oh God!
Tybalt that killed him.
Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
It did. It did at last the day. Did shame come to Romeo?
Blister be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born as shame. Shame is a shame to sit upon his brow, for 'tis a throne where honor may be crowned. So monarch of this universal earth, what a beast was I to chide him.
Will you speak well of him that killed your cousin?
Wash they his wounds with tears. Mine shall be spent when theirs are dry, for Romeo is banished. Oh, poor ropes, you and I are beguiled, for Romeo is exiled. He made you a highway to my bed, but I am made thy maiden widowed. Come, courts, come, nurse, all to my wedding bed, and death, not Romeo, take my maiden head.
I'll find Romeo to comfort you. He will be with you tonight. I wot well where he is. He's here at Lawrence's cell.
Oh, honey nurse, find him and give this ring to my true knight and bid him to come take his last farewell.
Romeo, come forth. Come forth. Thou fearful man, affliction is now over thy parts, and thou art wedded to calamity.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom? What sorrow craves acquaintance at my hand that he yet know not?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips, not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment! Be merciful, say that! For exile had more tyrannic his looks, much more than that! Do not say banished!
Here from Verona thou art banished. Be patient, for the world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is dead. How hast thou the heart to mangle me with that word banished?
Deadly sin or rude unthankfulness? Thy fault, our law goes dead, but the kind prince, taking thy part, had rushed aside the law and turned thy backward death to banishment. This is your mercy, and thou seest it not.
Hast thou no poison mixed? No sharp brown knife, no sudden means of death, no near so mean. But banished to kill me. Banished. Oh, friar, the damned use that word in hell. Holding attends it. How hast thou the heart to mangle me with that word banished?
Thou fond madman, humility to speak?
Oh, thou wilt speak again of banishment.
Oh, then I see that madmen have no ears.
How should they when wise men have no eyes?
Let me dispute with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst not speak of what thou dost not feel. Then mightst thou speak, then mightst thou tear thy hair as I do now, and fall upon the ground, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, one knocks. How they knock? Who's there? Romeo, thou wilt be taken. Stay a while. Go, run to my study. By and by. God's will, what simple is this? I come! Whence come you? What's your will?
I come from Lady Juliet. Let me in and you shall know my errand.
Welcome then.
Oh, holy friar, tell me, where's my lady's lord? Where is Romeo?
There on the ground, he's on tears made drunk.
Stand up and you be a man, for Juliet's sake, for her sake.
Nurse, speaks thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Where is she? And how doth she? What says my concealed lady of our cancelled love?
Oh, she says nothing, sir, but weeps and falls down on her bed, and Tybalt shouts, and Romeo cries, and down falls again.
As if that name shot from the dead level of a gun did murder her, as that name's cursed had murdered her kinsman. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack this hateful match.
Thy desperate hand? Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thy art, thy tears are womanish? Thy wild acts denote the unreasonable fury of a beast. Thou hast amazed me. By my holy order, I judge thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Would I slay thyself?
slay thy lady that if thy life lives by doing damn hate upon thyself? Where else thou, on thy birth, the heaven and earth since birth, and heaven and earth all three do meet in thee at once, which thou at once will lose? Thy noble shape is but a form of wax, decreasing from the valour of a man, thy dear love sworn but hollow perjury, killing that love that thou hast vowed to cherish. What roused thee, man? Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. There art thou happy. Tybalt would kill thee, but thou slewest Tybalt. There art thou happy too. The law that threatened death becomes your friend and turns it to exile. There art thou happy. A pack of blessings lights upon your back. Happiness courts you in her best array, but like a misbehaved and sullen wench thou passed upon thy fortune and thy love. Go, get thee to thy lady, as was decreed, ascend her chamber, hence and comfort her. But look thou stay not till the watch be set, for thou canst not then pass to Mantua, where thou shalt live, until we can find a time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, and beg pardon of the prince, and call thee back with 2,000 times more joy than thou hadst forth in lamentation. Go before nurse, commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them apt unto Romeo is coming.
Oh, holy friar, I could stay here all night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is. Oh, my lord, I will tell my lady you will come.
Do so, and bid my sweet prepare to chide.
Here, sir. A ring she bid me give you, sir. How you haste, for it grows very late.
Oh, how well my comfort is revived by this.
Go hence, good night, and here stands all your state. Either be gone before the watch be set, or by the break of day disguise from hence. Sojourn in Mantua. I'll find out your men, who shall signify from time to time every good hap that chances here. Give me thy hand. 'Tis late, farewell, good night.
Things have fallen out so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die, weren't we? 'Tis very late tonight, she'll not come down tonight. I promise you, before company, I would have been in bed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no times to woo. Madam, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will, and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she's moved up to her heaviness.
Oh, Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled by me in all respects. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her, you go to bed, and acquaint her here of my son Paris's love. And bid her, mark you me, Wednesday. Soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday. Well, Wednesday's too soon. Oh, Thursday. Thursday, tell her. She shall be married to this noble earl. We'll be ready. Do you like this haste? We'll keep no greater to a friend or two, for her cute about being slain so late it may be thought we heard him carelessly if we revel too much. Therefore, we have some half a dozen of friend and there an end. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, or the Thursday were tomorrow.
Who get you gone? Oh, Thursday let it be. Farewell, my lord. Good night.
Madam,
Nurse.
your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. How you hence? Look about.
Then window let thee in, and life out.
Farewell. One kiss and I'll descend.
Art thou gone so? Love, lord, husband, a friend, I must meet with thee every hour in the day, for in a minute there are many days. And by this count I shall be much in ears, ere I behold my sweet Romeo again.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity to commend my greetings, love, to thee.
Thinkst thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not. And all these woods shall serve a sweet discourse in our times to come.
Oh God, I have an ill-divining soul. Methinks I see thee, thou art so low as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails or thou lookst pale.
And trust me, love, in my eyes so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu, adieu.
Oh, daughter, are you up? Who is that calls? It is my lady mother. Is she down so late or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death. What? Wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet I cannot help but weep.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Madam, feeling so the loss, I cannot help but weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weeps not so much for his death, as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain, Romeo. We will have vengeance for it, fear thou not, and then weep no more. I'll send him such an unaccustomed dram that he shall soon keep thee both company, and then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Indeed, indeed, I shall never be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him. Dead is my poor heart, for a kinsman is vexed. Madam, if you would find a man but to bear a poison, I would temper it, and that Romeo should upon receipt thereof soon sleep in quiet. How my heart abhors to hear him named, and cannot come to him to wreak the love I bore my husband out of the body that has slaughtered him.
Find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But now, I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
Oh, what are they? Beseech your ladyship. Joy comes so well in such needy times.
Well, well, thou hadst a careful father, child, one who to put thee from thy heaviness had sorted out a sudden day of joy, one that thou expects not, nor looked not for.
Oh, what day is that, madam?
Oh, marry, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the County Paris at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
No. By St. Peter's Church and Peter himself, he will not make me there a joyful bride. I want that the saints that I must wed, there he that should be my husband comes to woo. Madam, I swear I will not marry, and tell that to my father. And if I do, it will be that villain, Romeo, instead of Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands.
When the sun sets, the earth doth drizzle dew. Before the sunset of my brother's child, it rains downright. How now, a conduit girl? What, still in tears, evermore showering? How now, wife, have you delivered to our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I wish the fool were married to her grave.
Soft, take me with you, wife. How is she none? Does she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have brought so worthy a gentleman to be her bride?
Father, not proud you have, but thankful you have. Proud can I never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
How chopped logic! What is this? Proud, and I thank you not, and yet not proud? Mistress Minion, you thank me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds, but Pharaoh, your fine joints! Against Thursday next, to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither! Out, you green sickness carrier, and out, you baggage, you tallow face!
Fie, what art thou mad?
God's bread, it makes me mad.
Oh, good father, I beseech you, hear me on my knees, but to speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, you disobedient wretch. I tell thee what, get thee to church o' Thursday, or never after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch! Wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child, but now I see that this one is one too much, and that we are cursed in having her. Out on her, Hilding!
You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so.
And why, my lady Wisdom? Hold your tongue, good Prudence. Smatter with your gossips, go!
You are too hot.
God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, hour, tide, time, work, play, alone in company, still my care hath been to have her matched. And having now provided a gentleman of good parentage, nobly lined, stuffed, proportions as one thought would wish a man, and have a wretched, puling, fool, a whining mammet in her fortune standard to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I pray you pardon me. But an you will not wed, I will pardon you. Graze where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it, I do not use to jest. Thursday is near, lay hand on heart, advise, and you be mine, I'll give you to my friend. And you be not, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets, for by my care I'll never acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall ever do thee good. Trust to it, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn.
Oh, honey nurse, what news? Say something. How shall this be prevented, nurse? Say something.
Faith. Faith, here it is. I think it'd be best you married with the county. Your second choice is better. Romeo compared to him, he's a dishcloth, but my madam, Paris, fairer. You'll be happy with that second choice.
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Nurse, go in and tell my lord and father I'm off to Lawrence's cell, having displeased him, and off to make confession and be absolved.
Faith, know that this is the wiser decision.
Ancient damnation, almost wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thirst forsworn, or to displace my Lord with that same tongue that thou hast praised him so many thousand of times above compare? Go, counselor, thus and my bosom words shall always be in twain. All to the fire cell to know his remedy. If all else fails, I myself have the power to die.
Thursday, sir. The time is very short.
My father Capulet to have it so, and I'm nothing slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind, and even is the curse I like it not.
Immoderately, she weeps for Thibault's death, and therefore have a little talk of lust. Now do you know the reason of this haste?
I would. I knew not why I should be slowed. Look, sir, here comes the lady toward my cell.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be your wife.
The maybe must be love on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
That's a certain text.
Come you to make confession to this father?
To answer that, I shall confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to him that I love him.
So will you. I'm sure that you love me.
It is more of a price spoken behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul, the face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got no victory, for it was bad enough before their spite.
They wronged it more with tears without report.
That is no slander, sir, which is the truth. For what I spake it to my face.
The face is mine, and thou hast slandered it.
It may be so, sir, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, or shall I come at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter now. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God shield the should disturb devotion. On Thursday early Juliet will arouse you. Till then, adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
Oh, shut the door, dear friar, and come weep with me past help, past care, past hope.
Oh, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strains me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Oh, tell me that thou hast not heard of this friar, or if thou hast, tell me how this may be prevented. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do but call my resolution wise, and I'll help it presently with this knife.
Hold, daughter. I do spy a kind of hope that craves as desperate an execution as that is desperate which we prevent. If rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then it is likely thou will undertake a thing like that to chide away this shame that copes with death himself to escape from it. And if thou darst, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me leap, friar, from the battlements of any tower, and I will do it without fear or doubt to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Take thou this veil. Hold, go home, be merry, give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Let not the nurse lie within thy chamber. Take thou this veil, being then in bed, this distilled liquor drink thou off. When presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor, for no pulse shall keep his natural progress but surcease. No warmth, no breath shall signify thou livest. The roses in thy cheeks will fade to paly ashes. Thy eyes' windows fall like death when he shuts up his day of life. And stiff and stark and cold, each part deprived of supple government will appear like death. And this borrowed likeness of shrunk dead thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Then, as the matter of our country is, in thy best robes, covered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, him and I will watch thy wakening, and that very night shall he bear thee hence to Mantua. This shall free thee from this present shame, if no inconstant toy or womanish fear abate thy valor in the acting it.
Oh, friar, give me, and tell me not to fear.
Go, get you gone. Be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua with my letters to thy lord.
Love, give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father.
There comes Juliet from Shrift with merry look.
How now, my headstrong, where have you been getting?
Sir, where I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests am enjoined to fall prostrate here and beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you. Henceforward I'm ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. Go tell them of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
Oh, and father, I met the youthful lord at Lawrence's cell and gave him what might have become love, without overstepping the bounds of modesty, of course.
Well, I'm glad on it. This is well. Stand up, stand up. This is as it should be. Go for the county. Hey, Mary, go and fetch him hither.
Hey, nurse, will you go into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. There's time enough.
Oh, go, nurse. Go with her. We'll do church tomorrow morning.
We shall be short in our provision this now near night.
Oh, tush, I will stir about, and all things shall be well, I warrant thee, wife. Let me alone, I'll not to bed. Let me place the housewife this once. Come on. What ho? They're all forth. Well, I will walk myself to County Paris and prepare him up against tomorrow morning. My heart is wondrous light since this wayward girl is so reclaimed.
Oh, nurse, will you help me pick such needful ornaments as fit to furnish me tomorrow? What about these attires? Yeah, these attires are best. But nurse, I pray thee, leave me to myself tonight.
Are thou busy, ho? Need you my help?
Nay, madam. We've picked such needful ornaments as suit to furnish me tomorrow, but I pray thee, this night stay up with the nurse, for I am sure that your hands are full with so sudden a business.
Good night. Get thee to bed, and rest, for thou hast a need. Good night.
Farewell! God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear that thrills through my veins, that almost freezes up the heat of day. I should call them back to cover me. Nurse! What should she do here? My dismal scene needs I must act alone. Come, vile. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married tomorrow morning? No, this shall prevent it. Lie thou there. What if this mixture do not work at all? What if it be a poison which the fire had so subtly ministered as to have me dead, unless in this marriage he be dishonored because he married me before to Romeo? I fear it is. And yet methinks it should not, for he had still been tried a holy man. How if I wake before Romeo comes to redeem me and lay stifled in the vault whose foul mouth no hellsome air breathes in? That's a fearful point. Or if I live, it is not very like the horrible conceit of death and night, together with the terror of this place, as in a vault, an ancient receptacle, where for many hundreds of years the bones of all my ancestors lie packed, where bloody Tybalt lay yet but green as earth, lies festering in his shroud, where at some hour in the night, as they say, spirits resort, or alack, no, it is not like that. Or what if I wake distraught in the middle of the night, environed with all these hideous fears, and play madly with my forefathers' disjoints, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud, and in this rage with some great kinsman's his bone, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains? Oh, look! Methinks I see thee there, my bloody cousin's ghost, Tybalt, seeking out Romeo upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay! Romeo, Romeo, Romeo. Here's drink. I drink to thee.
Bridegroom, he's come already. What? Nurse! Wife! Nurse! Nurse! Nurse, I say. Go waken Juliet. Go and trim her up. I'll go and chat with Paris. Come on, make haste! Make haste! The bridegroom, he's come already! Make haste!
Juliet. Fine, you slug a bit. Why, lamb? How sound is she asleep? He needs must wake her, but you sleep more, yes. Juliet! Madam! Fine, you slug a bit. You sleep tomorrow night. You won't rest tomorrow night, for had the county Paris prepared correctly. Amen. God, amen. I needs must wake her. Juliet! Juliet! Dressed and down in bed again? I needs must wake you. Juliet! Juliet! Lady, help! Help! My lady's dead!
What noise is here?
She's dead! Juliet is dead! Where are they?
Oh me! My child! My only life! Revive! Look up! Or I'll die with thee! Help! Go help!
For shame, bring Juliet forth. Her lord is come already.
Juliet, she's dead. She's
Alack the day! She's dead! She's dead!
Let me see her. Out? Alas, she's cold. Her blood is settled and her joints are stiff. Life and those lips have long been separated. Death lies on her like an untimely frost upon the sweetest flower of all the field.
Woeful day. Woeful day.
Oh, lamentable day.
Death that had taken her hands ties up my tongue and will not let me speak.
Are you ready to go to church?
Ready to go, but never to return. Oh, son, the night before thy wedding had death lain with thy wife. There she lies, flower as she was, deflowered by him. Death is my son-in-law. Death is my heir. I will die and leave him all life, leaving all his deaths.
Have I thought long to see this morning's face, and doth it give me such a sight as this?
Oh, accursed, unhappy, wretched, hateful day, most miserable hour that e'er time saw, in lasting labor of his pilgrimage. But one poor and loving child, but one thing to rejoice and solace in, and death had catched it from my side.
Pick out, divorced, spirit, slain, most detestable by death, by thee quite cruel overthrown. Not, oh love, not love in life, but love in death.
Distressed, despised, hated, martyred, killed. Alack, my child is dead. Uncomfortable time, why camest thou now to murder our solemnity? My child is dead, and with my child my joys are buried.
Peace, ho, for shame. Confusion's cure lives not in these confusions. Heaven in yourself hath pardoned this fair maid, and now heaven hath all the better is it for the maid. Dry up your tears, and as the custom is, in all her best array, bear her to church.
All things that we ordain festival turn from their office to black funeral. Our instruments to melancholy bells, a wedding cheer to a sad burial. Our bridal flowers serve for a buried corse. And all things change them to the contrary.
Sir, go you in, and madam go with him. And go, everyone prepared to follow this fair course unto her grave. Heaven do lower upon you for some ill. Move them no more by crossing their high will.
Oh, news from Verona. How now, Balthazar? Does thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How doth my Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
If she's well, nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capo's monument, and her immortal part with angels lives. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it to you. Oh, pardon me, sir, for bringing this ill news, since you did leave it from my office.
Is it so? Then I deny you, stars, thou knowest my lodging. Get me ink and paper, and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Thy looks are wild and pale, and do import some misadventure.
Thus thou art deceived. Leave me, and do not think I bid you do. Hast thou no letters from the friar?
No, my good lord.
No matter. Get thee gone, and hire those horses.
Yes, my lord.
I'll be with thee straight.
Who calls so loud?
Come hither, apothecary. I see thou art poor. Hote, here's 50 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon spinning gear as will disperse itself through all the veins, that the life where we take her may fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of bread as violently as hasty powder doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb.
Such mortal drugs I have, but Mantua's law is death to any he that utters them.
I pay thy poverty, and not thy will.
Put this in any liquid you will, and drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
Come, cordial and not poison. Go with me to Juliet's grave, for there must I use thee.
Holy Franciscan Friar Brother Ho!
Welcome from Mantua. What's his Romeo? Unhappy fortune. By my brotherhood, the letter was not nice, but full of charge of dear import and neglecting it may do much danger. Go, Friar John, get me an iron car and bring it straight onto my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
And must stay to the monument alone. Within these 3 hours, with her Juliet awake, she will beshrew me much that Romeo had no notice of these accidents. But I will ride again to Mantua, and I will keep her at my cell till Romeo come. A poor living curse close in a dead man's tomb.
Give me that mattock and the wrenching iron. Hote, take this letter. Early in the morning, see thou deliver it to my lord and father. Eyes, look you're lost. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh you, the doors of bread. Seal with a riotous bargain, a dateless deal to engrossing dead. Come, bitter conduct, come unsavory guide. Thou desperate pilot, now at once run the dashing rocks thy sissy quarry bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus, with a kiss, I die.
Romeo! Oh, pale, steeped in blood, what an unkind hour is guilty at this lamentable chance. The lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable friar, I'm here where thou told me I should be. Where's my lord?
Come from this nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. Come away. A greater power had throbbed with our intents. Here, thy husband, in thy lies stead. Come away. I'll dispose of thee among the sisterhood of holy nuns. I dare no longer stay. Come, good Juliet, go.
Go, friar, go, for I will not await! Oh, true love, what hast thou there? A cup in thy hand? Poison? Poison, I see, had been your timeless end. I will kiss thy lips, and let's hope a drop of that same poison lingers on them. to make me die. To make me die with a restorative. Thy lips are warm. Yeah, noise? Then I'll be brief. In this sheath and in this rust. Oh, happy dagger. In this sheath, in this rust. Let me die.
This adventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning rest.
The people in the streets cry Romeo, some Juliet, and all run with an open outcry towards our monument.
What fear is this, which startles in our ears?
Oh heavens. Oh wife. Look, our daughter bleeds. This dagger had mistaken for low on his house on the back of Montague, and it missheated itself in my daughter's bosom.
Oh, the sight of death is as a bell that warns my old age of a sepulture.
Come, Montague, for out thou early up to see thy son and heir, now early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my son's exile had stopped her breath. What further woe conspires against mine age?
Look, and thou shalt see.
O thou unthought, what manners is in this, to press before thy father to a grave?
I brought my master news of Juliet's death, and in post he came from Mantua, to this same place, to this same monument. This letter he early bid me give to his father, and threatened me with death, going in the vault, if I departed not and left him there.
Give me the letter. I will look on it. This letter doth make good of people's words, their course of love, the tidings of her death. And here he writes that he did buy a poison of poor apothecary, and therewithal came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague, see what a scourge is laid upon your hate, that heaven finds means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
Oh, brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
But I can give thee more, for I shall rake her statue in pure gold, that whilst Verona by that name is known, there shall no figure at such rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As shall Romeo's by his ladies lie, for sacrifices of our enmity.
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge, break tune mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean.
Два доми, рівноповажанні славні, Вероні красній, місці наших дій, знов починають свої чвари давні, з чужою кров'ю кроплять розлад свій.
From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life, whose misadventures piteous overthrow, that with their deaths buries their parents' strife.
З лон тих домів роковина, нещасна, коханців пара у життя йде, і їх загибель, люта, передчасна, край ворожнечі батьківські кладе.
The which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend.
Прислухайтесь з вухом небайдужим, ми працею всі вади надолужим. As rich shall Romeo's and his lady lie, poor sacrifice on our enmity.
Ромео буде мати рівний дар із нею, бідні жертви наших чвар.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings, the sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence to have more talk of these bad things, some should be pardoned and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
Похмурий мир світанок лє зі сходу, від смутку сонце чола не зведе. Йдіть, обміркуйте цю сумну пригоду, тим проститься, а інших кара жде. Не знав, бо світ сумнішої планети понад судьбу Ромео та Джульєти.